Today on Kicks Chronicles, we chat life and kicks with the Emmy Award winner and podcaster. In fact, he's the host of the My First Kicks podcast. I'm talking about the one and only WHOISHASS in the building. We get into the kicks he loved growing up in the mean streets of Queensbridge, New York City. We talk collections in the EST of KIC, and off the back of his amazing interview with J Tips, we took all things Jae and Saucony. This is Kicks Chronicles. Yes, my people, Big PROZECH back again, and you already know what it is, man. Kicks Chronicles, your sneaker and lifestyle podcast, episode 96. Buddy, your boy is back. I'm back. Your boy is back from holiday, man. I was in Italy for a few weeks. You know how I get down, bro. I had to shut down. I had to switch off. I had to calm. I had to relax. Because when I get into Italy, I get into that culture. I love to get into the culture, bro. So I had to chill. I was off social media for a few weeks, man. I was seeing what things were going on. Obviously, I got a pre. But you get me? I wasn't posting. I just needed to chill. Relax with the family. Shout out to the latest husband and wife in town, Mr. and Mrs. Ayate. You get me? I went, to support the family. Go to a family wedding. You get me? It was a beautiful affair. You get me, man? But yeah, now your boy is back and we in full effect, man. And we rolling hard all the way up and straight past the end of the year. I'm already focused on 2025. Trust me. First and foremost, obviously, I gotta thank everybody that's still rocking with me and still listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for your support and love. You get me? And everyone that managed to check out the most recent episode that we did with Ben from Perfect. You get me? It's available everywhere, and shout out to the guys at Perfect. Before I get into this week, I want to let you know, Kicks and Coffee, man, dropping on the 15th of September, Sunday the 15th of September, at Big Penny Social. You get me? Sponsored by eBay this time. Bigger things are going in. You get me? And guess what? Even bigger than that, your boy is going to be there. 100%. I told you I was going to be there, and I'm going to be there. And I'm hosting a really, really cool panel. You get me? It's a discussion on mental health and kicks. And I'm going to be talking to Luke from 2 Pints Deep, which is a mental health awareness charity. Also, my boy and friend of the show, Moses PSD, is going to be there. Plus, Future. And when I say future, I really mean future guest on the podcast, FD from the future. Fabio is in the building. He will be my final guest on that panel. And I think you can agree. That's a pretty sick lineup for a panel. You get me, man? So that's going to be dropping on Sunday the 15th, like I said, but this podcast is dropping on Sunday the 15th. You get me? And even though this podcast is going to slightly drop after that, you probably ain't going to be able to pattern both. So if you, for whatever reason, haven't been tapped into Kicks and Coffee, or Kicks Chronicles, make sure to follow PROZECH. Make sure to follow Kicks and Coffee on all social media platforms so you can stay tapped in and follow with all the updates for the next opportunity for you to see my man in the flesh. And for you to come down and potentially cop some really cool kicks and go to a really cool event. So moving on to our guest this week, this is actually part 1 of a 2-part interview that I'm having with WHOISHASS, aka Hassan from the My First Kicks podcast. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. Obviously, his podcast is an American podcast and we're a UK podcast. But you know, man, Kicks is Kicks, man. It's transatlantic, it's global, it's worldwide. You get me? Like, so for those of you that know him, you already know him. But for those of you that don't know him, we are essentially, how do I put it? He's essentially my American counterpart. My American brother from another mother. We are essentially, I'll probably say literally 2 sides of a transatlantic coin. And when I say that, I'm essentially saying that his podcast, My First Kicks, and my podcast, Kicks Chronicles, are essentially a very similar premise. We talk to a guest about their sneaker journey. The main difference is him and me. And when we came across each other's podcasts and eventually connected online, we made a decision to support one another, because that's what big grown folks do. You get me? I do something similar to you. You do something similar to me. Instead of me beefing you for no reason other than being a great mind and thinking alike, we decided to support one another. So we decided to pen, and I don't know whether this is the first ever of its kind. I'm sure it isn't, but if it is, I'm saying, well, we need to copyright that. We ain't gonna get caught out like very demure and very mindful, you know. You get me? The Great Podcast Exchange this week, and as I said, this is part one. This week and next week he will be my guest, and in the very near future, as in days, I will be his guest. Unfortunately, I won't be going to America to sit down with him. We'll be doing that virtually, but it's a great opportunity for me to speak to an American audience, and you know I'm continually putting in that work, and it's a great opportunity for me. So yeah, really looking forward to talking to Hassan again. And bro, as I said at the beginning of the episode, this episode I absolutely love it. We get into absolutely everything. This week, next week, we're gonna go nuts. You get me? But this intro has probably already been too long. All I'm gonna let you know is that this guy is a storyteller, impeccable memory, great stories, great collection. We're gonna get into absolutely everything, right? Before I let you go, you know what you're meant to do. Like, comment, subscribe on absolutely everything. You get me? Reviews 5-star. That's the only currency I play with or accept. And I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You get me? Kicks Chronicles. Keep your eyes peeled. Things will be... something's coming out very soon. And without that being said, I'm your boy PROZECH. This is Kicks Chronicles. And our guest this week and next week is Who is Haas from the My First Kicks podcast. Enjoy. Yes, my people. Big PROZECH back again. And you already know what it is, man. Kicks Chronicles, sneaker and lifestyle podcast. And I'm here once again with another illustrious guest. And this ain't just some round-the-way illustrious guest, bro. This is transatlantic illustricity. You get me? I'm saying coming all the way from NYC, big New York in the building. Stop playing with them. You get me? I'm talking to, and this is deeper, I'm talking to the Emmy Award winning content creator and podcaster. In fact, he's the host of the My First Kicks podcast. I'm talking to the one and only Hassan. Who is Hass, bro?
Yo.
Who is Hass, bro? Hass is in the building.
That's the first time I've ever been introduced like straight for real introduced. It's always just like, hey, we got Haas in the building. But this one was like, I thought I was about to jump on stage just now.
Bro, I put that work in, bro. I get busy.
I feel very honored, man. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you, broski. So yeah, it's the least I could do, man. New York is in the building, bro. Do you know, for every Londoner, and I speak for a lot of people when I say this, I feel like New Yorkers and Londoners, we almost kind of kindred. Mm-hmm. Like we have that same kind of feeling about things in life. You get me? Like kind of it's them grey streets and just that rugged way of living, and just them things there. So like I'm feeling it, and bro, like I'm looking forward to a good podcast, man. So bro, let's take it all the way back to the beginning, man. That's what we want to do. That's what we got to find out about, man. So Hass, like, what was your first love? What was that first shoe that grabbed your heart, that pulled at your heartstrings? You might have been a kid, you might have been a teenager, but that one shoe that said, bro, you gotta have me. What was that first shoe?
So I tell this story a lot, and I'm gonna add a couple, like some more context to this. So I tell the story about Christmas Day and getting my first pair of Jordans, right? But I gotta add this caveat, and I like mentioned it. I think I mentioned it on one of my recent episodes. But I lost my childhood best friend growing up recently, right?
Wow.
I had to take a break from podcasting because of it, and I remember just like what it really brought back, like after like still dealing with it right now, still just like, you know, passing of my brother, basically my brother.
So sorry to hear that, G.
Yeah. But I remember him getting his first pair of Jordans, and he got the OG 13s. It's the white and black 13s. Oh, wait, let me double check. No. Air Jordan 14. Yes, there we go. This is inspired by the Ferrari. All right, yeah. That's it. So he got the OG it's the Chicago colorway, right? I think it's the black and white colorway with the red on the bottom, right? Mm-hmm. He gets them, and he rushes to my house, and he comes. He's just like, "Look what I got! Look what I got!" And he shows down. He looks down, and he's like, "I got Jordans on," right? Immediately, I was like, I turned to my mom. I was like, I need Jordans right now, right? Year goes by. I've been asking for Jordans the entire time, right? And my mom doesn't know anything about Jordans. My mom just knows he's a basketball player because she went to go She took me to go watch Jordan play.
Amazing!
Yeah, and so I've been obsessed with Jordan ever since I was a kid. Born as a Knicks fan, but like I would always love Jordan, watching him play and watching him kill my team. But that's neither here or there because my friend wasn't really big into basketball. He just wanted Jordans because of kids in school. And he went to the Catholic school. So everybody was, when you go to Catholic school, you have to pay for it. So everybody had money at that point, right? So he pulls up, and I've been asking for these Jordans for all year, whatever. We've been hanging out. I see him just killing these Jordans. And I'm just like, watch. Hopefully I'm going to get mine, and they're going to be clean, right? Christmas comes around. And I'm thinking like, and this is I don't know if you knew what East Bay magazine was, or like, well, over here, I don't know if you guys have an equivalent of East Bay magazine, but over here we had a magazine that you'd sign up for it, or I think you go to like Foot Locker or something like that, or somebody would pass you a card, and you can just get this like catalog of just sneakers so you can buy them. And if you look them up, please, I implore you to look up old East Bay magazines. It's nothing but just 90s basketball sneakers. Like it was like the Bible at that point, right? You'd be like King James right here, like like King James is writing right here. Like that's how it was, where you needed to get a East Bay magazine or East Bay catalog every other week, whatever. So I'm just flipping through it. You can see Jordans there, 150, 160, or whatever the price. I think it might have been 120 at the time, USD. And so you'd flip through and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get these. And so this is like, since the 14 and 15s, they were still retroing like older models during this time. But you would get like, you'd get like 4 retros a year plus the new model, and then the new model in different colorways. And so you're just looking through this magazine being like, ooh, 13s is coming out this year. I'm gonna get these, right? So in my head, I'm thinking my mom got me like Flint 13s or something crazy, right? And I open my Christmas gift and I see Michael Jordan's face. And this is like the Scanline times. This is the old box where there's a moment during, I think it's either like for like 2-3 years, they changed the box so that it was like, if you're a kid size or a smaller size, it would be Michael Jordan's face, and it's like lines and silver. If you look them up, if you look at an old pair on eBay up, you'll see it's several boxes like that. And so I see Michael Jordan's face. I'm thinking like, yo, here we go. I got it. My mom and my aunt, they put their money together. They went to the store. They got me. I opened the box. It's a pair of Air Jordan 16s. Right? No, 15s. That's the next one. That's the next one after. 15s. Yeah. And then as I get older, it makes more sense that it would be the 15s, because I'm asking for them from the 14. The whole year comes across, and my mom goes to the store and gets the latest one. Yeah, she gets the latest one. Makes the most sense. It's the black and red pair. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Right? I'm not excited. I remember this vividly. I go, and my boy goes to me and he goes, so you get them? You got Jordans? Did you get Jordans for Christmas? And he's just like, and I was like, yeah, but they're not like, and then I sound so ungrateful. She does not know this story at all. And I don't know if she was ever like, she doesn't know that. I think she does not know that I did not like them at the time. So this entire time, right, I'm like, going to school, I am destroying them because I'm thinking like, yo, as soon as I destroy these, I'm gonna get another pair. No, I had them for like a year or something like that. Like I could see the wood on the bottom, not the wood, the cardboard on the bottom of the shoe, and she was just like, no. So after that, it was just like, I'm not asking for sneakers anymore, and so this big hiatus of like, I'm not getting the newest stuff. I'm just gonna stick to Uptowns happen, or Air Force Ones, but I was like, at that time, it was like my mom was always like, you either needed to pick between sneakers or video games. You can't have both. So I can do several video games for the price of one sneaker.
Fair.
Yeah, and then just get a pair of like Uptowns, and then with the money that I have left over, whatever. So that's the story of like the little bug of like this little gnat that was like behind the back of my head being like, you want these. Like you'd see kids out in the street, and I just did not want to be the kid who had all the fresh Jordans and then just be like in the house just looking at nothing. So I was always just like, nah, I'm gonna go get these games. And so, but at the back of my head, I'm always just like, watch, when I get some money, I'm gonna get some fire kicks.
Yeah, a lot. So like, I can resonate with you in terms of like, kicks were not a high priority in my household. So, I had to really put pressure on my mom to get that first pair of kicks. Like, and it wasn't Jordans, because Jordans weren't super popular when I was growing up. It was just a pair of Reebok Classics.
Hey, don't start talking about it here, because you coming on my podcast to talk about your first pair.
Do you know what? With respect, because the thing is, what people won't realize, depending on when this comes out, is we've done an international podcast exchange. You get me? Just I'm saying the ink has dried on the paper.
Yes.
You get me? Like, so we're not gonna go too deep into it. Like, I'm saying, he's my guest today, and I'll be his guest next week, and we'll do it like that. So with respect, thank you very much for reminding me. I'll keep it moving, my good sir. But you did mention briefly like New York. It's on your hat. We have to pay respect to New York. Where in New York are you from?
So I grew up. And then listen, every time I talk about myself, I end up getting really close to doxing myself. People are going to end up being outside my house eventually. But I grew up in Queens, birthplace of Nas, Mobb Deep, but I grew up in an area called Corona, which is, if you're a big hip hop head, the only place, there's only two people from the area, and that's Nori, who's now a famous podcaster, and the Beat Nuts, which is my favorite little group. That
respectfully, I definitely remember the Beat Nuts, and obviously Nori's killed the podcast game with Drink Jam, so yeah, we know that. But yeah, Queensbridge in the building, we're definitely down. When you were growing up, because obviously you mentioned Uptowns, when I hear Uptowns, I don't know why, but that gives me Harlem vibes. I don't know if that's a thing, but talk to me about growing up in Queens, in Corona. What was on people's feet when you look back on like in your mind's eye? What were the shoes that had the streets on lock?
So I wasn't allowed to go to other boroughs until I was like 12, 13 or something like that. So like, I didn't know what other people were wearing around the time when I was growing up, but where I am from, I feel like it was a lot of just Air Forces. But there was also like a mix of, sometimes you'd get some kids in Jordans, or the occasional somebody's got like something crazy. You're like, I've never seen that before. But I grew up in the 2000s, like 90s, 2000s, and I feel like you'd see a lot of, but the thing is I grew up in an area where it's not a lot of people making money out there, right? Like you have houses, it's so far away from the city, and then the mall that was near me wasn't really near me, but there was a mom and pop shop across Left Rack City where Nori's from originally.
Left Rack,
yeah, that we would hit it up every time. And they would have Jordans, but all the drug dealers are buying all the Jordans and stuff. So you're just left with whatever's on the shelf, and nobody else is going to the mall because at the time there wasn't a Foot Locker there. It was just like I feel like it was just only like 3 stores there at the time. It was like JCPenney, Macy's, and then like something else. But during that time, I'm trying to think of like, because I didn't really get to see what's on people's feet until, or notice it until maybe middle school. And middle school, it was more about the people I was outside with, like the people we were playing tag with, and I remember the 16s came out, and no, the metallic ones came out, and I'm talking about briefcase with the silver Jumpman that was cut out, and I remember I pulled up with my boy, and we go play. We were playing. This is tag era. We were playing tag every day, basically. If you can't play basketball, you play tag, right? So I remember going to the usual spot we play tag. That's his cousin's house. We go there. Everybody's pulled up. We're all kind of with like our ratty kicks, whatever. And homie pulls up, and he has the briefcase with him, and he's just like, yeah, man, you know, I had to do it. I got him. And I was just like, all right, whatever. I was like, yo, you gonna play tag? He's like, I can't play tag because these are just fresh. I was just like, all right. Bro got stepped on so much that day. I was just like, why would you do that? So, you know, I feel like even in that time, because during that time, I'm trying to remember, like, the shoes I was wearing at that time, I'm still looking for these, and I'm pretty sure I'll never find these, but I had a pair of Air Force One mids in like a navy blue and gray. I love this shoe. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I need this pair again. But that was like my shoe. Nobody else wore it. No, everybody hates mids. Like,
Yeah.
In New York City, everybody hates mids, and I blame Clark Kent for this. But whatever. I want mids to come back and be like with real colors, not what Supreme's doing right now with just throwing the logo on it, even though I kind of want them. But I have like a soft spot for mids just because of this shoe. But I was like, you know, you strap it up, or you leave the straps out. But the straps out is like you going to school, and then you strap it up when you're trying to play tag. So that's kind of like what I would notice. You know, it's more about whatever's affordable, like where you can get it, like Models, which is like, I don't know, the equivalent of a Dick's Sporting Good, but less cheap, but cheaper. You know, I don't even know what kind of stores that would equivalent to that, because it was like it had all the sports equipment, and then you'd get like sneakers for cheap too. So that's my frame of reference. I'm sorry for everybody who's listening that's from Queens, United Kingdom, Queens. They're like, oh, we're doing this wrong.
We'll make it work, man. But no, I appreciate that. Something I always ask is in regards to something I refer to as an unholy grail. An unholy grail, it's a term that I've coined. It's one that refers to an off-brand shoe, like not one of the major brands. It's a shoe that you might pick up in a discount bin somewhere. You get me? We do have a few names, but I don't know if they'd resonate with you the same as they resonate with us. But brands like High Tech, Dunlop, Ascot, Avia, Adore, Trax. Did you ever have to dabble in the dark arts, get involved in an unholy grail of some sort?
It's just the dark cards or the dark hearts?
The dark arts.
Over here, Snape with the sneakers.
Hi there. So nice to see you. Sorry to interrupt the pod. I'll be literally 30 seconds. I just wanted to say thank you for being here. And also, if you enjoy the pod, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really does help. Also, if you're listening on an audio platform, feel free to give us a review, whether it be positive or negative. Just leave a review. We really, really appreciate it. Also, feel free to listen to our old episodes. And if you ever want to get in contact, if you want to let me know what you're thinking, feeling, or whatever, holler at me. My name is PROZECH. PROZECH on all social media. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm enjoying TikTok at the moment. So feel free to holler at me. I will always holler back. back. And with all that being said, I'll let you get back to the pod. Toodles.
Trying to think. I feel like so the deepest I got into the off brands is when Converse was in Payless.
Okay.
And so after that, it was like Nike do or die for some reason.
I don't
know why, but
I respect that.
Yeah, I was never like I need to have sneakers. These look cool. I'm gonna get these. Right. I was like, this brand. I've always been brand forward, and that's maybe a detriment to me because I probably could have gotten 4 pairs of Avias, or like 4 pairs of spot builts when it was in Saucony, and would have been fresh as hell. But instead, I'm over here with some. I remember I copped a pair of Nikes from Payless one time, and I think no, it was Models, and they look. I'm trying to remember, but they look like what's the shoe that Stussy just did a collab on? The Terra, AC Terra. I think that's it. They look like those, but they were like runner stuff.
Yeah.
They were like that, and nobody talked about them. They it was like the incognito shoe, and my mom was just like, here you go, and I was just like, look, they're Nikes, they got to check on them, they got a swoosh on it.
I feel like that was a pass, literally. I feel like the check was a pass. Like in the UK, like especially being from Africa, people are just like, my mum was just not involved at all. So yeah, I definitely had to dabble, man. But like I'm glad, because the reason why I asked that question is not obviously to poke fun. It's good to look back and see where we are, we were, and see where we are now. I mean, the whole back wall has got Supreme everywhere, man. Got an Emmy back there. Like things are good, right? But I'm saying we've come full circle. The things looking good now.
I wish I had. See, that's the thing though, because I've had people on my podcast and we talk about, oh yeah, I've had to rock, unnamed Pumas and stuff like that. Like, I wish I had that moment. Like, I don't, and I feel like I missed out. I definitely. I will say I didn't
miss out, bro.
I missed out. No, because then I lose, right? Because now this is what I'm saying, right? This is how I'm saying I'm missing out, because it took me so long to learn how to dress like fly. And I feel like if you are fashion forward from the jump when you're a kid, right? You're like, oh, this color goes with this color goes with that color. Bro, when I was in high school, I was wearing swishy pants. Like, I was wearing windbreakers to school every day, bro. Like, I was not fly. It took me until I was like in my 20s or like late, I was tired of being like the weird looking kid out of high school type of thing. Until I got into college, I was like, all right, cool, now I can get into this for real. But then, I feel like I missed out, because if I was just like, yo, I'm gonna take these chances, I'm gonna get 4 pairs of Reebok, the workout shoe, whatever. I forgot the name of it.
We had the workouts.
The workouts, If I had 4 pairs of workouts and
big in the
4
UK.
different colors, I could have been, styling with the one on Tuesday, like that. And I never had that chance. I never gave myself that chance. I shout out to everybody that there's a kid, they saw the foresight for that.
No, respectfully, like when you're at the bottom of the barrel, it forces you to think outside the box. You've got to find some other way to make it make sense. You get me? Like, so no, I respect that, man. And to be honest, when I look back, I do actually appreciate that, because like my identity is not like associated with specific brands. Like I don't say, oh, okay, I have to have this, otherwise I don't feel like I'm wearing a shoe. Like I have no affinity, or I have affinity to all of them, but in a sense I don't prefer any of them. Like I'm saying I can dip in and out. I'm trying to be varied because I have respect. But also when I was growing up, it was like I would have taken any of them. Like just to have that credibility. But it is what it is. Because in the UK they're heartless, bro. If you go to school with some no-name kicks, brother, you're gonna find out by the end of the day. You ain't gonna do no learning that day. You ain't doing no learning that day.
You fighting you fighting for your life.
Like, bro, you're not learning that day. That is a write-off, broski.
But I mean, like, I feel like that's how you gain thick skin. I don't think these kids now have that chance, right? Like,
no.
It's just, and I feel like they're all gonna be me, I guess, right? Where it's just like, oh, I went straight to the name brand and I didn't care about the colors, right? Or like, I didn't know how to mix and match and make this work, you know. But
I think it depends on, obviously it depends on the parent. I feel like ultimately, like, yeah, the point I'm making is a fair one, because my daughter's probably she's never gonna wear the kicks that I had to wear growing up, right? And the thing is, what's also happened is brands like Nike and Adidas have understood sort of the importance of having product offerings for every budget.
Yeah,
they have to now. Like, you can find bottom of the barrel Max and Adidas and Puma and Reebok, and you can find top of the range. So like, they're covering the whole range now. So there's literally no reason whatsoever. Plus, you've got a massive secondary market. You've got eBay, and you've got all different things. So there's literally no reason, right? But there's other ways you can teach those things, and that's where me and my missus have to, like, we brainstorm and we're like, how are we gonna teach this girl to, like, value things? Like, we need to teach her to value things, because back in the day I valued things because I didn't get them for like 3 years, right? But she asked for something and she can get it next week. In fact, she can get it the next day because of Amazon Prime or whatever. So those things didn't exist.
Yeah.
Right? So like, we have to figure out a way of doing it. But bro, let's switch gears, bro, and let's get into your modern day collection, man. I like to call this the EST of KIC. And when I say EST, I'm talking the oldest, the newest, the rarest, the greatest, the best.
Somebody is a Bianca Belair fan.
Do you know, I am a Bianca Belair fan, because she is the EST of the WWE. But more so, I just love her nickname.
Yeah.
Her nickname was probably one of the baddest nicknames that come out in the last 20 years. So I was like, you know what, that is, I don't know how she came up with it or how they gave it to her, but
she definitely came up with that's all her. I feel like that's like a thing she was saying when she was a kid. Like, I feel like that's it has to be. Because
it's everything, bro. It's everything. When I heard her say that, because I heard her say it when she was in NXT, and sorry for all of the non-wrestling, but I heard her say it when she was in NXT, and I was like, my mind was blown. I was like, because obviously we've heard them all, bro. Excellence of execution, the crippler, and like, although he's what's the crippler. Although he's cancelled, but anyways, redacted. I'm saying like the rattlesnake. Yeah. I'm saying like I was in the Viper and all these different things. What's triple? The game. All of them ones there, right? And you get someone come out and say, and I think for a period we'd run out of really. Cool nicknames. For a period, there was no like amazing nicknames, right? And then she pops off with the EST of NXT, and I said, "Buddy, bro, sign me up."
But what put it even more over was when she would be like, "I'm undefeated." I was like, "Yo, she got me. She did that. She had two. If you come in straight out the gate and you have two of the biggest like impactful, I guess, like mine, because like I'll be at the crib, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm the EST, like, you know, like
100%,
yeah, or I'll be like, or I'll play a game or something like that, or something happens, I'll be like undefeated. Yeah, she was the best.
Nah,
she is the best.
You need when you come, because the thing is, like, I love watching wrestling since I was a kid. One of the number one things you need a catchphrase that people can grab hold of, like, straight away. And I remember, like, obviously The Rock is probably one of the best when it comes to that. But obviously Stone Cold, Y2J was sick when it came to catchphrases.
That's my favorite wrestler.
You need something, 100%. You need something that the people can grab a hold of and just chant back to you and just finish the last line of, and you can play with them on that. But yeah. Sorry for the EST tangent. I absolutely love a nickname, and she is the coldest. She's one of the coldest ever. But yeah, bro, let's start with the oldest, bro. What's the oldest kick you currently own, have in your collection?
People are definitely tired of me talking about this shoe, but I have a pair. I'm so like, I've told you this before we jumped on this. I'm a big SB guy, so my oldest pair is a pair of Pro B red grip tapes from
Jeez.
2001, 2001, I think.
Body.
Like,
2001.
yeah, everybody talks about 90s basketball, and I feel like it's rare when you see somebody pull out a Pro B. So I like to hang it on people's heads. I mean, hold on, this is probably my second oldest. They're right here because they're my everyday shoe, kind of. But these are from 2007. Nah, these are not my oldest. But the DQM Blazers. The
Blazers get slept on, bro. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the Pro Beast 2001 is my oldest sneaker. I have a story about that one. I got them on eBay one day because I was like, this is when I was super into like just perusing and blah blah blah, choosing keywords and stuff like that. Can't really use that now. Don't really work now.
It doesn't work the same, man.
Macari or maybe Depop. Macari definitely. But I ran out of. I didn't have money to pay my bill, so I had to sell them. Right, Jeez. Put them on eBay. I paid my bill. Then I got a new job, so I had more money. And then I was like, oh, let me do same thing, blah blah blah, keywords. And I see red grip tapes, Pro Bs on eBay for $100 straight up. Copped them. And I noticed that like when I first bought them, they had this weird indent on the right shoe. And so I get them in and I look at them and it's the same shoe. I got the same shoe back.
They resold the shoe.
They resold the shoe and I bought them back. And I bought them back for, I think it was like $20 cheaper.
You're the man.
Sometimes the sneaker gods just be like, I got you. I got you.
That's your shoe, bro. That's your shoe.
They still held together. They held together more than because I have a bunch of silver boxes after that, and those are separating. But that shoe, there's no separation.
That's it. Like I think that. I mean, I was gonna say I think that speaks to like build quality back in the day, but obviously the silver boxes were pretty old as well. So
yeah,
I just think changes of materials and stuff like that, man. But that's a sick older shoe, man. So I mean, let's flip the script on that, man. What's your newest shoe?
My newest shoe are. Did I just get those? Saucony J-Tips Omni 9s.
I just watched the interview. Colorway. I just watched the interview as well. Like kudos to you for getting my man to sit down, bro. That was a sick interview. Like yeah, and like the J-Tips journey. Let's touch on the J-Tips journey from like the hats. I mean the music first, and then the hats, and now like what he's doing with Saucony, like is actually. Like, do you know what? Yeah, I've said this before. Like, with the Grid Azuras, I wasn't there, bro. I didn't see the vision with the pinks. I just didn't see it, bro.
It is. If you didn't have any frame of reference of his first, like his Air Force One, it does look like you're like, what is this? But it was a cult. It was a cult following shoe.
100%.
Yeah.
I had a friend, and he was like, this is a potential shoe of the year. And I said, you're buzzing. You're crazy, bro. And he was like, bro, just watch me. And then I heard him on the Complex podcast. And bro, and the name of the shoe, I swear the name of the shoe was Remember Who Fronted.
Yeah.
Right. And bro, I was like, I heard his story. I made the mistake of hearing his story. And then I realized I was who he was talking about. I was fronting. So I was like, bro, I respect it. And the way I viewed the shoe completely changed. And then ultimately what he then did with the brown and the blue pair, which
what's the occasion?
What's the occasion? Which I think you've got the same.
Yeah, I got the same.
Yeah, I think
I should have bought both pairs, but
I heard you. Funnily enough, I mean, let me see what size I got because I remember your interview saying
you got to go half size up.
Half size up because the man himself said you go half size up, but I don't know whether I actually did. I think other people told me to go half size up as well. I think I ended up just getting my actual size, but I've never had an issue with them.
Oh, they hurt my toes, man. And I still wear them. And I'm like, whatever,
bro. I'm still rock out, bro. And the thing is, I've got sensitive toes as well, but these have actually been sick. And they're my first pair of Sauconys, and they've been absolutely perfect, man. So I'm definitely on that vibe, bro. Yeah, talk to me about the Omnis, bro, because it's a vibe, bro.
it's interesting because I felt like I went from being an outsider to being an insider, right? Like I had him on the podcast. I go to the drop, and I get let in. Like I'm like, this is crazy. Like I went from like when I went to Complex Con to go pick up the what's the
For the
occasions, right?
occasions.
Like that was like I made a line, me and him chopped it up, and me and J Tips became cool. That was the day. But this drop was totally different. There's like some extra stuff I can't talk about, what I won't talk about, because I feel like it becomes like sour grapes because I'm looking at it wrong, and I have a mentality of doing that, so I'm just gonna avoid that part. But going to the event and seeing like everybody line up for it, or I mean, going to the drop and seeing everybody line up for it, the internet going crazy for it, right, and just being part of it, again, people going to the line and people being like, "Oh, you're Haas. You that was your episode. I listened to your episode. Like I saw J Tips on your podcast. Like it was like a weird
That's so
amalgamation of
sick,
like,
bro.
yeah, it's like I got to like go to the store, say what up, talk to a bunch of people. A lot of people knew me, which is a totally different experience from lining up at Complex Con. Nobody knew me. I was there on a press pass, so I was interviewing people. Like I feel like it's like it has been a crazy ride, and getting this shoe and being able to rock this shoe with such added context of like I got him on my podcast and we're cool, so like now we can like I can like do other stuff with him, with J Tips, and I got the shoe. And this shoe, the Omni 9, is one of the most comfortable shoes I own,
I respect it.
100%. Like Saucony sent me over. I had Jason on my podcast, who's I think he's like directors of collaboration at Saucony, but I've known him for years, and I had him on and we talked, and he was just like, "Yo, you got to try this shoe," and he sends me the Omni 9 in this like bluish, like metallic colorway, and I cannot stop wearing it. I'm literally just wearing it all the time, right? Then he drops this shoe, and now I'm like, yeah, I gotta rock this. And I'm like, this shoe is crazy. It's a crazy colorway, but it's like at the same time, it is also just like super comfortable, and it does go with a lot of things.
Mm.
But yeah, it's. I don't think it's like necessarily. I feel like because if you've seen my last episode, if people who are listening probably don't, but like I talk about, I don't like sneaker of the year list. I think they're cloaked in too much personal stuff, and it's not like a real sneaker of the year list. Everybody's always like, the reason, like last year, the reason why the white cements are on the list is because, well, and I'm always just like, I don't want to see a retro. I want to see something new. If the list should be compiled of new stuff, so that if we're gonna be talking about new stuff coming out for years to come, it should be reflected on the previous list. Because
I think I'm there with you, bro. I think I'm there with you. Yeah.
But if I do make a list, this shoe is on it, and that would be like 3 lists in a year. He's been top 5. Like that's like, I don't know if you're a big fan of Run the Jewels, but that's like Run the Jewels era of like album. The album don't miss. These albums do not miss. 1, 2, 3. Like yeah.
I respect it, man. I respect it. Like, yeah, in terms of the UK, like J Tips has definitely left an indelible mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's definitely did his thing, man. And I feel like it's only up from here, man. Like I think in general people love an underdog story. I feel like his story is easily relatable in that regard. Also, his association with Saucony is relatable in that regard as well. The fact that he's put them on his back, and obviously they're in the game already and they already do great things, but like in terms of relevance to the culture, he's put them on his back, broski, and he's doing similar to what like a Joe Freshgoods or a Soleil he's doing at other brands. Like he's making it relevant in a culture that really had overlooked it for a long period of time, man. So I got a massive amount of respect for J Tips and what
I
he's
mean,
done,
we talk
broski.
about that on his episode, and you know, people consider him. I mean, in the clip that I posted, people consider him the savior of Saucony, but I think Saucony has been doing great things for a
They've
long
been doing it
time.
for a minute. Yeah, they've been doing it for a minute.
You know, I think it gets discredited because it's a newer space for them. They're so known as like runners and running and just like more functionality. And Bima did his thing. Collaborating with the sneaker YouTubers at the hot sneaker YouTubers at the time, and it's hard to make money when your demographic isn't niche, because it's like now you're in the mainstream of like we gotta be pushing these like create, like we're not pushing creative, we're pushing functionality and tech, right? And that pivot of like I don't know, I wouldn't say, like, I love J Tips and what he's done so far, but I wouldn't say that pivot is necessarily on him, right? I don't necessarily think that Saucony's on his back. I think Saucony is helping with his vision, and that needs to be more of what is said, because he's had this idea of like, and I mean, we talk about it, it's like he wants to see things grow. And so how does he do that? How does he see the community grow? He's part of the sneaker community. He's sold sneakers. He's done all this stuff with sneakers, and now he has his own sneakers. So now let's go to these stores. Let's do these activations. Let's make it so that everybody can come out. Everybody can get a pair. Like everybody's gonna have. He's always said everybody's gonna leave with something. Is what he always says. Everybody's gonna leave with something.
I respect that massively. Yeah, I respect that massively.
I think he's doing a great job as the cultivator. I don't think he has the whole company on his back, because I think that they're doing good things. There's a ton of people doing things, and this is just one small subsect of like a massive company that is trying to be in the forefront of sneakers, but not hog any type of spotlight, right? The fact is that they're getting spotlight, they're getting spotlit, but then they're also getting stigmatized because they're like, J Tips gets the spotlight, but then it's Saucony. He's doing this with Saucony, but then you don't hear anybody being like, New Balance chose Joe Freshgoods, but Joe Freshgoods is putting out this good stuff, but it's New Balance. Like, like we don't hear these pivots. Alma Manir is working with Jordan, but it's never like Jordan. It's Jordan, or it's never like it's Alma Manir. They were like, these two seem like they're at the same level, so these two logically need to be working together. So I think it's just narrative driven talk.
Yeah, no, I hear that. And to be honest, I think it's important that we, I think it's important, especially in the early stages of any partnership or collaboration, for the narrative to be clear as to the terms of that engagement. And I think it's important. And I think where the sort of where I'm coming from is in terms of relevance in my niche and in my world, as somebody that's not as close to sort of that functional sort of running style of sneaker. Someone that is obviously, this is becoming more and more popular. Asics, Hokas, saying Brooks, and things of that nature are becoming more and more in like people are having more and more interest in on. Like these are things that were just never a thing before. Like, and Saucony does sit in that world like with respect, right? But I feel like now they've gone into another world, and what I felt like they needed and was somebody to not necessarily validate them, but somebody to co-sign that. And I feel like that's been done really well. And I think you're right in the sense that they were on a similar level. It's not the same as an Armand Manier and a Jordan or any of these other brands where the brand making the shoe is so much bigger than the collaborator. Yeah. So it's never that, right? This feels like symbiotic in that regard. But yeah, I wait to see, and I'm looking out for if I can pick up a pair of them Omnis still. We'll see what we can do with that.
Oh, no love on the Omnis?
Nah. I mean, I'm not Haas, bro. not Hasbro. I'm not inside like that, broski. Maybe one day, you get me, man. You got nearly. I think you got nearly 100 episodes on mine, so I feel like I got a bit of work to do.
I do. I'm at 188, man.
Yeah, no,
So,
you've been putting in work, man. So I feel like I got some work to do still. But yeah, like maybe after this one, I'll be a little bit closer. But talk to me, man.
You've had some greats on. What are you talking about?
No, I feel like do you know what? Let me be real. I've definitely been blessed, and I feel like my trajectory has been I'm on a good trajectory. I feel like I'm trending upwards in that regard by God's grace. It's been good. It's been I probably a little quicker, but my mentality is like I was talking about earlier. It's the underdog mentality. I don't think anyone owes me anything. I don't think anyone owes me anything. I don't feel like I know anyone that listens to my podcast. It's one of them ones there. It's one of them ones that no one.
I'm with you there, man.
Them ones, because if I go the other way, it just leads to disappointment. Like when I'm thinking like people that are around me should be doing this and should be doing that. Nobody owes me nothing. So I just keep it pushing, bro. But yeah, I've had some decent wins, man. And yeah, but none bigger than today. Obviously, with WHOISHASS in the main seat. You get me, man. Let's talk to me, bro. What would you class as the greatest pair of kicks in your collection?
Ooh, easily Tweed SBs. That's my one of my grails.
Strong.
I got them for like 150 too. So,
bro, you get them steals, broski.
I have morals. I have like a threshold, right? I always tell people, right? Because this is when I first started the podcast. It was the height of resale, right? And I always told people, and anybody that's come on, and they always ask me, this is because that's what everybody always would talk about. Oh man, these sneakers is going. I can't do it. You know, spending too much money on sneakers, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, the shoe is worth however much you're willing to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Right? If you think that is a $200 shoe, find somebody that's gonna sell you for $200. Right? Wait it out. Blah blah blah. And sometimes sneakers is just not meant for you. Like,
that's it.
And you got to look at it like that, because if anything, you're gonna end up just buying everything.
And then what are you at that point?
Yeah.
Like, no, I completely get you. Like, obviously, I feel like people with bigger feet sizes generally tend to have a fairly sort of balanced view when it comes to what they can and can't have, because like when it comes to getting kicks on drops, like very rarely am I just copying a kick on a drop. Very often am I having to either go secondary or try and find another way to get the shoe, because like it just stock numbers are just going to be lower in the larger sizes. Like we'll talk about it later, but the last time I won a shoe on sneakers was a very long time ago. The sneakers app is not a friend to me when it comes to size.
It is a friend to me, apparently.
No, if you're getting it, maybe you're getting the ones I'm not getting.
No, they don't use the same stock. You can't blame me.
Okay, I
only do that. I can do that to other people here, all right, and you can do that to other people there. But me,
we can't do it.
This is not working right here. I'm not stealing from you. You're not stealing from me.
I respect it, man. But yeah, man, I just have to have that mentality. Otherwise, yeah. So some shoes, I'm just like, I will look at that shoe from afar and appreciate it from afar. You get me, and admire it. And when the money's up, if I'm checking on eBay with that authentication, or if I can see it for a good price somewhere, bro, I'm gonna cop that, man. Put that in the thing, and then we keep it moving, man. Yeah. So yeah. What would you say is the rarest kick in your collection?
Rarest pair. I mean, I just recently got it, but Extra Butter gave me a chance to get their 1 of 24 Puma, like made in Italy. Get money. It's a GV special.
Fair. Yeah, Puma been doing their thing, man, and Extra Butter's clean. Super clean.
So technically, that's the rarest pair that I have now.
Yeah,
before that, I had
is crazy.
Yeah, before that, I have the Dornbecker 8s. So that's probably the rarest there.
Shout out to them kids, bro.
Shout out to them kids. And if you buying that resale, just know you're not helping those kids.
You're not helping. Bro, people don't clock that. If you buy a resale on the Dornbecker, you're not helping the kids no more.
They only getting the retail price. They're not getting this.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. That's it. Bro, if you're just like running out of the house, you're not thinking about a fit. Maybe like this is literally like the shoes that like sort of just sit by the front door, kind of most comfortable shoes, the bop to the shop type shoes. What are those shoes?
It's the, I mean, they're not comfortable, but there's the ones that I usually put on. It's those what is
What the occasions?
Yeah, what the occasion. But what is it? Is it a Saucony Grid 2, right?
Grid Shadow 2, yeah.
Grid Shadow 2. There we go.
Yeah, Grid Shadow 2.
So,
Crazy.
And the only reason that's the case is because I don't have the box for them. So, yeah.
Wow. I think I'll definitely have the box for them because I got them on the sock. So I missed out on how did I get these shoes? So shout out to Ash Bash. Ash Bash is content creator in the UK. He put me on Saucony website. Cop straight off the Saucony website. I tried to go off the J Tips. The J Tips drop just like within seconds.
Yeah.
I was done, bro.
Gone.
Yeah, so yeah, but it was the Saucony website. I should have gone for both pairs, but I really love the brown, so I just went for the brown. But yeah, I should have gone for both, man.
Yeah, that blue pair is so fire.
Yeah, it's actually sick. And the thing is, having this pair here, realizing that, and I probably will get the blue pair at some point. They go with absolutely everything. Like, you do not have to worry about what you're wearing when you put those shoes on.
Yeah.
And that's why it makes sense that you've got them as your beaters right now, like, because literally...
I mean, they're not beaters, but they're
just...
I
mean, yeah. I mean, in the shoes...
My beaters, to be honest, my beaters are those Omni 9s, those blue Omni 9s. Like, I gotta show you them, because, like, they go with everything, but at the same time, it's like, this shoe is so comfortable.
I respect it.
But the only reason I put those on, if I'm like, I'm running out the house, is because I don't have the box for them. So I was just like, they're right there. I could just... It's either that or these, man. These get heavy worn as well.
I respect it. I respect it.
Shout out Dave.
Listen, when you don't have a box, you don't have that barrier of like where is the shoe?
Yeah.
A lot of times that's why I don't put my shoe in box. Like, I've got a few shoes in boxes, but I try to put them on display so I can see them and see what I have. But I don't carry a massive collection anyway. Like, what I've got behind me is majority of what I have. I do have like you can't see the rest of this room. I do have some other shoes sort of put around, but yeah, man, I kind of just sort of stick to what I have around me. But I definitely wanted to chat to you about the podcast. But before I do that, man, do you know what I feel? Yeah, man, I feel like you're sitting a little bit too comfortably right now, and
okay,
it's rubbing me the wrong way. Pause. So I feel like we need to battle.
Okay,
I feel like we need to battle. Well, with respect, don't say okay like that, bro, because
I'm always ready. I'm always ready to battle.
No, okay, don't say okay like that. Like, I'm talking
about a battle. 16 bars ready to go. You talking about that kind of battle?
No, I'm talking about a real battle, bro. I'm saying back to back. I'm saying like rebuttals and schemes and all of that. You get me? Like, we're ready to go. And you know what? Yeah, right. I don't know. I'm saying, like, I just feel it in the air, bro. You've mentioned a couple of fire shoes here, man, but I don't know what it is, man. The SB Dunks seem to be the shoe it's talking to me right now. You get me, man? So I don't know whether you're prepared. You get me? I don't know if you've got that in your locker. I don't know if you've got it stuck away. You get me? But
I got him.
Man's locked and loaded. You get me? So if you're ready to go, I can go. You get me? Like, what we're gonna do here, right? Is your top 3 versus my top 3.
Okay.
Right? SB Dunks. Right? You're my illustrious guest, so you will be able to go first.
Okay.
You get me? You will be able to go first. The only rule is we cannot say the same shoe.
Okay. Easy.
Cannot say the same shoe. You get me, man? Like, and SB Dunks is far and wide. You get me? Like, so I'm saying I feel like we probably won't say the same shoe, but you never know. We just gotta put it out there. So, bro, as you said, you're my illustrious guest, so I will let you go first.
All right. I'm going to start off with...
Thank you for listening to this episode of Kicks Chronicles. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. And remember, full video version is available on YouTube, audio versions available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.